over the saw-toothed and snow-capped peaks of the Hamadan and Iraqi mountains to Tehran, the route flown by the British and United States leaders and their staffs to meet the Soviet delegates in the drafting of the Plan for Victory. The start of the four-day conference in the Persian capital, which, in effect, signs the death warrant of Nazi Germany. Impressive security measures had been taken for this critical and most momentous conference, which will shape the destiny of mankind. The compounds of the British legation and the Soviet embassy in Tehran were converted for the occasion into one great park. The ends of the street were sealed and closely guarded. It was at the Soviet embassy that one of the most moving ceremonies of the war took place. Marshal Stalin received the Stalingrad sword from Mr. Churchill, the magnificent token of British admiration for Russian courage, fashioned at the command of His Majesty the King. A British lieutenant acting as sword bearer steps forward to present the Sword of Honor into the hands of the Prime Minister. Taking it, the Prime Minister passes it to Marshal Stalin, who, after kissing the hilt, hands it to the savior of the steel-hearted city of Stalingrad, Marshal Voroshilov. It will be remembered that Mr. Churchill celebrated his 69th birthday in Tehran. The British press unit, knowing the Premier's weakness for hats, presented him with a Persian-style tetfa. The same day, Mr. Churchill went to the Soviet embassy to meet the Shah of Persia, who was then paying a call on Mr. Roosevelt. We are deeply conscious of the hospitality and friendly help afforded the three-power delegates by the Shah. The following day, Mr. Churchill came out as an honorary colonel of the 4th Hussars and reviewed the troops drawn up in the legation compound. 20 men of the Buffs, 20 men from the Persian Iran force, and 20 Sikhs. It was at this ceremony that he received 3 more birthday gifts. The PI force gave a silver cigar box, the Buffs presented a silver tray made in Isfahan, and the Sikhs a miniature painted on ivory. The presentations were made by Company Sergeant Major Calloway, Corporal Sutcliffe, and Kirpal Singh. Mr. Churchill was almost overrun as he signaled the men to come nearer so that he might thank them. It was the 10th Army's turn to cheer the chief. For the first time in this war, the 3 Allied leaders had at last been brought together from the ends of the earth. Following the design for Japanese punishment framed in the Cairo meetings came the conference to decide the fate of Germany. The joint authors of this momentous declaration have planned the shape of things to come. Allied chiefs of staff have formulated operational plans so gigantic in scope that students of war are already forecasting a crushing all-out offensive involving many millions of men. They feel that preparations are now very close to completion. But let us leave speculation to the wise. Let us dwell upon the concrete things that are open for all to discuss. The infinitely gratifying thought that Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin have set the ball rolling for the grand finale, that Britain, America, and Russia are bound together in invincible unity. Portal, Brooke, and Cunningham, 3 of the 70 British delegates who conferred with an almost equal number of American and Soviet representatives. Would it be accurate to suggest that Mr. Churchill wore the uniform of Air Commodore of the RAF in recognition of the colossal air blows being delivered by the Royal Air Force? Perhaps so. The stage is set for unprecedented warfare for our tomorrows and concord among nations for the days to follow.